If you deal with low back pain, I am right there with you. I have dealt with low back pain ever since I was a teenager, whether it's due to an injury, poor posture, or genetics. So when my doctor at age 17 recommended I pick up yoga, it was fate. But here's the truth, and here's what I learned. Not all stretches are created equal, and not all yoga poses are helpful for alleviating low back pain. Now, there are many different reasons why low back pain occurs. It could be due to musculature, it could be due to your discs, it could even be due to an area that seems unrelated to your low back. It's helpful to be able to pinpoint the cause of your low back pain when moving forward with treating it. But what I found to be a large culprit for myself and many of my students is this posture, where you're rounded in the spine for prolonged periods of time and the tailbone is tucked under, and the spine is no longer in its neutral S curve. This could be due to daily habits such as being on your phone, on your computer, reading, watching TV, or it could even be due to improper stretching, trying to touch your toes by just rounding your spine and reaching forward, instead of lifting through the chest and really targeting in the stretch. Now, if you're asking why does this create low back pain, because sometimes it feels so good to stretch like this and our bodies like to trick us with that. We have to look at the anatomy of the spine. In your spine, between the bony vertebrae are these jello-like discs. Now, through daily habit and posture, the discs might over time press posteriorly or towards the back. And when it presses towards the back, it starts to press into all these nerves surrounding our spine, creating pain. And when the pain happens around the spine, surrounding structures tighten up, and it becomes a chain reaction of all these muscles becoming tight, creating a lot of pain. Now, the disc can also move forwards towards your belly, right? Like in a back bend. It can also move out sideways. It can move in any direction. So it's helpful to know what direction your disc might be pressing in order to find the movements that will help alleviate your back pain. In general though, what I found to be most helpful is to simply neutralize your spine back into its S shape. And we can do that through stretches. So for today's class, I'll be showing 5 poses that I found incredibly therapeutic for alleviating my back pain. If you want the full class, definitely check it out on my website, omelifeliving.com, so that you can practice it consistently. As always, really listen to your body. And if you're having an episode where you have intense pain, you're having a flare-up, or you might even feel nerve pain, I recommend you seek professional advice. I recommend you rest it, ice it, and allow your body to de-inflame before introducing some of these movements and stretches. We'll be using 2 blocks, a yoga strap, or if you have just leggings or some sort of long cloth to help you reach your toes. And if you have some sort of cushion, will be nice as well. Grab all your things and we'll go ahead and get started. For the first pose, we'll use both the floor and the wall to help us maintain a neutral in our spine. You can step your feet up to the wall, the knees can even be bent, or you can straighten your legs. The important thing here is that your low back is not curling off the floor, but it's grounded completely in contact with the floor. And you can just stay here, allowing the weight of your pelvis, your tailbone to ground you down. Should feel really nice here. And especially after a long day of sitting or walking, this is a very passive inversion that can just be very therapeutic. From the same position, we can also take a hamstring stretch. You can bend your knee, or you can keep it straight up, and we'll lift the right leg. Using a strap or a scarf or a belt, loop up the ball of the foot, and draw your thigh closer to your chest. Again, the important thing here is that the tailbone's not lifting, that it's firmly grounded down into the floor as you stretch your hamstrings. Pose number 2 is also using the wall. It's reclined pigeon with the assist of the wall. So we'll take right ankle on top of the left thigh. If you have bony ankles, just have the bone outside of the thigh and flex your foot. Now, when you do this, if the tailbone is lifting, shimmy yourself further away from the wall so that the tailbone can be firmly grounded. Hands to your shin bone, pressing the shin away. And melting your shoulders down, relaxing your face. finding an outer hip stretch here while the spine is long and neutral. The third pose is a hip flexor release, and you can do this either with 2 blocks lined up with your hip bones, or if you have a foam roller or a cushion, that would work as well. So take your blocks, creating this mustache, and then place your hip bones over it, releasing your chest down to the floor. So it's very similar to a passive puppy pose. Our hips are lifted and the pressure on the block helps us release our hip flexors. Allow yourself to just melt down, allowing the weight of your body to do its work as the hip flexors release. Pose 4 is your classic Sphinx pose, and I learned this trick, this modification from my PT. So the important parts are the hip bone and the belly button and the rib cage stay in contact with the floor. Our legs act as extensions of the spine, lengthening back, and we use our arms to pull our heart forward. The idea is these lifts, so we'll come down, allowing the spine to go into a neutral state. And then inhale, when we extend it up, pulling our heart forward, the legs back, we're encouraging the disc to move anteriorly or back in if it's bulging out. And then exhale, elbows wide, chin down. Inhale to drag the chest forward, elbows back parallel, belly stays down, rib cage pulling forward, very, very gentle extension. And exhale down. So you can do this a few times to encourage that disc to move back in. Our final pose is stretching with the wall to open our shoulders. So be an arm's length distance away from the wall. I feel like this stretches in every one of my videos. Lift your shoulders up. That's how much I love it. And then exhale, you can just melt yourself down, opening up your shoulders. You can also walk in closer, allow your forehead to release the wall as you stretch your shoulders open. So those are the 5 poses that I found incredibly therapeutic in alleviating my back pain. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, do me that favor, like and subscribe. Let your friends and family know about this channel. If you want the whole class, it's on omlifeliving.com so you can practice it consistently. And if you have questions, comments, or feedback, always feel free to talk to me below. I'll see you guys next time.